I feel I'm in The Price is Right.
The
Abraham,
vibration is right.
I'm extremely pleased to be here. I've been thinking about saying that for a long time. I have a question about awakening. It's not a topic, there's a lot of information out there.
It's not a big universal experience either. It either is or it isn't in the moment. Because it's really talking about connection with Source. That's when you're awake. Clarity and awakening, we want to call the same thing.
Okay, I get that. I get that it's a constant process, but in a lot of the literature, I sort of became obsessed with it about a year ago. And in a lot of the literature, there's sort of a...
This is the time of awakening.
No, not that way. But in the experience of the person who awakens, it seems to be a singularity moment. It's not, in the way that I've heard you talk about it, it's sort of a continuous process. It's a continuous process.
Never ending. Here's exactly how it works. So contrast produces a desire that at first you're not a match to. So you talk yourself into alignment with it, and then the gap closes, and now a manifestation wraps around you. Now you stand with your new manifestation and a whole new set of contrasting experiences, which launches another rocket,
I understand.
which at first you're not a match to. So then you self-soothe and close the gap, and now the manifestation wraps around you and brings with it a whole new set of contrasting experiences. So there is a never-ending value in reaching for alignment with the expansion that life has caused you to accomplish.
I understand that part. However, it seems to me that there is this stage 5 that you're talking about,
Yeah.
in which you know that you have arrived at this position in which there's no doubt anymore.
All right, so what that is, that's a study and mastery of your own emotional guidance system. So all that you've lived has created a vibrational reality that Source is standing in about you. And you're somewhere in relationship with that. So when you get in the vicinity of it, now you begin translating that vibration into tangible things. And the first tangible thing that you translate it into is an emotion. Well, thought comes and emotion simultaneously. And then if you're able to maintain it, then soon all kinds of impulses of action and rendezvous and all kinds of other things come into place, and now there's chairs in the room. So the thoughts are turned to things. Once you are consistently able to hold yourself or return there quickly, hold yourself or return there quickly, that's what we're calling step 5, where you know how to manage your vibrational beingness. So no condition throws you, because you understand that conditions are changing because of the vibrational countenance that you are a master of.
I understand.
So that's why when this young mother is being quizzed by her mother, what are you doing about that? I'm loving him. I'm mastering loving him. I'm no longer trying to control his behavior so that I can have a loving response to the condition. I'm mastering clarity. I'm mastering love. So it's the consistency that step 5 is talking about. We've said for many years, this connection to Source, this alignment, is not like a college degree where once you get it, it's yours forevermore. It either is or it isn't in the moment. But your propensity to stay there, that's what Esther is beginning to enjoy. Oh, sure, she's living a big life and big things are happening around her. And so the conditions are happening. And so she'll take the hit from a condition that she doesn't like, but she doesn't stay there more than a few minutes. In other words, that's mastery, that's understanding. I get to feel the way I want to feel regardless of the condition that seems to be presenting itself to me. And further, the understanding that the condition will morph is helpful, but there is a trap in that. There's a trap in saying, okay, I'll do this stupid work so that the condition will change. You know, you don't talk about us like that, but I'll do the work so that the condition will then change. There's a trap in that because your attention is on the condition. That's why we ask you the question, where does the path of least resistance lead? It leads to alignment. It leads to feeling good. And you want to say, but then will it lead to the other things that I want? And we say, yes, but don't need it to do that. Because if you need it to lead to that, you'll be tempted to look at that which right now is still absent because it hasn't manifested, and then you mess up your momentum. You follow that?
Yeah, there is a little bit more, I guess, but I guess this is like when Pete Sampras or somebody's playing a tennis match and they're amazing in the moment, they are awake, pretty much. And then when they go out of the game, they probably think, like, can I do that again?
Even watch the best of them in the game. They're not in that state all through the game.
No.
Do you ever see them mad at themselves? Do you ever see them throw the racket down? They're showing their discomfort with the manifestation, but they are predominantly in mastery of their own emotions.
But can you get to the point that you know how to manifest so well that you don't doubt that you won't be able to do it? You can,
but that's like saying, can I stand so still that I never lose my balance? And we say, yes, but how much fun would that be?
All right, I'm happy enough with that.
So let's just talk about this for just a little bit. So, step 1, obvious, contrast, causes you to ask. Step 2, source answers. And while you may not be aware of it, there is a vibrational reality that has assembled and the cooperative components are gathered. The question is, are you a cooperative component to your own desire? And the answer is sometimes yes and sometimes no, and you can tell by the way you feel which it is. Step 3 is a sort of consistent awareness of what your real work is. You've got to find a way of becoming a vibrational match to your desire even before the desire has manifested. That is so essential to understand. Step 4 is being there consistently. That's what our friend was really asking about. The answer to what you were asking is more of a step 4 answer. That awakening that you are consistently accomplishing. In other words, you're just really good. You want to feel good. You know how to feel good. You know what thoughts don't feel good. You sort of shy away from those. You know what people don't feel good. You don't spend much time with those. You know what movies make you feel bad. You don't watch many of those. In other words, you care about how you feel. That's what step 4 is. You have come to the place where you finally acknowledge that the way you feel, that your emotional guidance system is your indication of what you're doing in the blending of your desires and your beliefs. Some time ago, we said on a really regular basis, if you want it and believe it, then it is. That's what expectation is. I want it and I believe it, and therefore there's no variance in the thought that I'm offering on a regular basis and what I desire. Now, what step 5 is? Step 5 is, I've asked for it, source has answered it, I am consistently in a place of feeling good about it, and now I am not set off my game when negative emotion presents itself to me. Instead, I understand the power and the value of returning to step 1 over and over again. Step 5 mastery is an acceptance that step 1 is a good thing. The acceptance that step 1 is good. The acceptance that negative emotion is good. Negative emotion is guidance, because all of it is leading to more. And since I've got mastery, does it matter if I'm always there 100% of the time when I know I can get there anytime I choose to with a relatively short amount of focus? That's what mastery is, step 5.
I feel like I've been thinking about this moment for months, so I'm really excited to be here. Thank you. I had all my questions written down in a book, and I just left the book in my bag because I thought if I got up here, I would know what to say.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you receive from your alignment, you receive the idea of the best thing to talk about right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to go down your whole list. What matters most, given what's already happened, is there for you to receive. So what comes to mind?
What comes to mind for me is my father. I have not been in touch with him for many years, and somebody had told me that he transitioned a couple years ago, or he was just sort of making his transition. And I never really got confirmation on that, but I like the idea of him making his transition, and I like the idea of having a relationship with him in that way. So I took that for a while, and I would see signs when I would be driving or on the computer or something like that, and it would remind me of him, and I liked it.
Yes.
My question to you is, Is he with you?
Is he non-physically focused?
Yes.
Yes?
He is.
So what's the benefit to you? Why would you want an ongoing relationship with your father?
Because of the relationship that we had while he was physical, it was not the best, and I would like to have a good relationship with him while he's
So the
non-physical.
relationship that you lived caused you to want something different that you were never able to achieve while he was in his physical resistant state. And so now, is there any question in your mind that you can accomplish that?
No question that I can accomplish
And
that.
so you want to talk about it
Because I wanted to know if he was with you, and I wanted to know if he had any messages for me.
The thing that is most important to understand about especially someone as specifically important to you as your parents, once they reemerge into non-physical, there is always, no exception, keen interest in what you are about.
Okay.
And from a perspective of non-resistance, not from a perspective of trying to make up for what was. You're not going to get any apologies or any sympathy or any I'm sorry, because that's just not where the vibration is.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're looking for, then it feels like there's no one listening, even though there is.
Yeah.
So it's important to understand that his perspective has changed dramatically. And so it'll be easy for you to sync up with that. The other day, the idea of closure came through Esther's mind. And right behind it, the new definition of closure is close your mouth. That's how you get closure. That's how you get closure on. And so what you're looking for isn't closure. What you're looking for is alignment. But the best way to get closure and alignment is to close your mouth. Most of all, the message is don't make a big deal about this. In other words, this is an eternal relationship. And so don't try to make up for lost time and don't try to understand anything. Just get on with what you are about and feel the enthusiasm that he and others have for what you are now about.
Okay.
Really good.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Can I ask another question? My other question is, I've been working with women who are trying to get pregnant, so fertility yoga, and I've been working with a few women who have had miscarriages, and I'm really curious as to what happens.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
We think you need closure on this. Because what happens, everyone's trying to explain what's gone wrong, what am I doing wrong, and all that does is hold you in a vibration that won't get you to where you want to be.
Okay.
And so it's a very frequent thing that someone is wanting to be pregnant and not being pregnant and wanting to be and not being pregnant. And so they give up and they adopt a baby and then they get pregnant.
Yeah.
Because the condition changed. Now there's no more lack of baby.
Yeah.
And so when the condition changes and there's no lack of baby, then they are able to conceive a baby.
Okay.
But that's a very conditional way of going about it.
Okay.
And so if you could help them to realize why they want the baby is so that they would feel what? What would you feel if you had a baby? What is the common answer that you have received or think you would receive? Why do you want to give birth to a child?
Joy, contentment.
So is it possible for you to feel joy without a child? That is the big question. Because if they say no, then your struggle continues. If you need the baby in order to get the baby, then you're going to have a hard time getting the baby because you need the baby and you don't got the baby. So you need the baby and you don't have the baby. And sort of a cycle, isn't it? So you want the baby because it's someone to mentor. Well, can you mentor others? Yes, all the time. Because you want joy. Can you find joy? Yes, joy all the time. And then they say, no, don't try to talk me out of this baby. Yeah. And you say, I'm not trying to talk you out of this baby. I'm trying to talk you into this baby. Trying to show you that there is a consistent vibration that you're wanting to accomplish first. And even if odds are against it in terms of what physical statistics say, no odds can defy alignment with something that is desired. It is law, you see. Yeah. So if anybody is not getting something that they want, it's because they're out of sync with what they want.
Okay.
Always. No exceptions.
Okay.